Welcome to the Chromaniacs, everyone, your weekly look inside SanDiego.FC and MLS. My name is Craig Elston, joined as always by my Chromaniacs, Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena. Tony, what's going on?
It is a great day to welcome the Heat, welcome a new signing for SanDiego.FC, who's already in training. We'll hear from Leo Duru and head coach Mikey Vada's out training. But Alex, we are here coming in against Portland. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about because we're going to we might hit a potential playoff spot, maybe.
I have the scenario.
Yes.
I will read the scenario. It's a laundry list of it.
We can talk about that, and it's great to see both of you, and we're doing it again on the same week. Thanks to Tony, Kiva, Abe, all of you guys for inviting us over to SanDiego.Futbol. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, great times. Hope everyone checked out that episode.
A busy week for the Chromaniacs, coming off of the round table with SanDiego.Futbol's 2 balls and a mic crew. Tony exhibiting multiple personality disorder that night, just being 2 balls and a mic. Tony also being Chromaniacs Tony at the same time. Not me. I didn't have any multiple personality disorder. I was only one person at a time at that moment.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. That was great.
Yeah.
Go check it out if you don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to watch on video, and in this case, it was and remains. But if as we get to the housekeeping at the top here of this episode 13 of the Chromaniacs, once again, it's funny. This is the main episode, but it's also kind of the middle episode of the week because we had Monday's roundtable, which served as sort of a post-game show for the victory 2-1 at San Jose. Saturday, Portland comes to town. Post-match coverage after that one is done on the Chromaniacs. But here in between, an opportunity to talk about Leo Duru and to preview the match. That's pretty much what we're here to do today on this episode of the Chromaniacs. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs, where our man Terrible SDFC memes, and look, the growth once again, just put up a new reel. You can see it right there with our interview last week with Vanessa B, Vice President of Frontera SD. Some tremendous stuff right there. You can check that out and more. Just follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs, and of course on the stories, you'll always be notified when we've got a new show that's live up on YouTube or on the podcast feed. Also, if you are following us on YouTube and watching, thank you for being there. Can you hit the thumbs up button, quick little like and subscribe, positive comment, just commenting on something that you're listening to on the show. All of that helps us find new listeners. If you happen to be listening to the show on the podcast feed, and you can hit that 5-star review, quick written review, something that you like about the show that you'd recommend to someone else. We appreciate it. If you don't like the show, thank you for being here. Please don't do any of those things. Just chill. Just chill.
Tranquilo.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. But we thank you for being here anyways. We appreciate like the half a cent that we made off of you skipping and hitting plus 15 through the ad. Okay. The window, the world famous transfer window is creeping closed. Like the roof at Rogers Center as a rainstorm is coming in Toronto. It's just it's closing up. But swooping in, like Indiana Jones reaching back to grab the hat. Tyler Heaps reaches back to grab Leo Duru. Alex Pena, tell me about the transfer. What are we spending? What's the deal? Who is Leo Duru?
And Leo Duru from Blackburn Rovers. He's a fullback, which I think it was the last episode we did on Chromaniacs. We were talking about like what we really wanted or needed, and right back was on the list. And look at that, we got a right back, and it seems like he looks like the type of right back that this team needs. He's he's quick, he's aggressive, he's going towards the opposition's box. He's trying to get a cross in, trying to get a pass through. It seems like that really does fit our style of play. So that's really good. That checks the box right there of what we're looking for. And he's a pretty exciting young player, 20 years old. Right now he's on loan. Um, it seems, and I looking at thanks for our friends over at Section 1904. John had a little article from across the pond about his contract situation, and it kind of left fans a little confused because he's actually signed with Blackburn until next year, until June, and that's when the loan uh, is officially over. So they were kind of left a little confused of like, oh, wait, what's going on? I thought this was going to be a loan until the end of this season, 2025, but no, it actually might be extended. Well, it probably will be extended on the SDFC terms, and then potentially picked up and bought by SDFC. Money wise, not really sure. They don't announce these things. No one announces these things. They're not very transparent, but I would have to say he's a 20-year-old. At most, he's probably making 125,000, and that's the U22 slot level if he's being picked up for that slot. So, and plus, I'm guessing there will be a loan fee or a loan fee slash transfer fee associated next year with this. So that cost is just going to go up. But still, exciting signing. I really do like it. He's a U20 U.S. national men's team player, and another guy they're bringing in from the youth development system for the U.S. So lots to be excited and happy about if you're that type of fan. I think that makes 7 U.S. national men's league player that we have. That might be a issue towards October when they're actually playing in Chile
Hmm.
for the for their World Cup. That's correct.
Correct.
Tony?
Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, I mean, Luca Bonbino might be playing in this, and maybe some other players. So we're gonna have to look out when these U20s are picked up by the U.S. men's national team.
Tony, when Mikey Vadas and Tyler Heaps got together for the first time, did Mikey just give him a Christmas list from his time at USMNT under 20 and just said, okay, here are the players. These are the players I would like to have off of that roster.
Yeah, and I mean these are the players that Mikey Varas knows, right? Because you need some sort of expertise to be able to compete against managers and tactics at the professional level, something that Mikey Varas doesn't have. So why not lean into your expertise, which is the under 20 projects and these players that are coming up and really utilizing them correctly. And it's serendipitous, it's happenstance that you get a right back. But now this is the adding into a locker room of 3 injured right backs. So Harangi was still healthy by the time that these talks were being had to begin with, right? So this was always going to happen, whether or not Harangi goes down. With that, it is Mikey Vadas did say that Harangi will be out for a couple of weeks. It does look like it's a shoulder injury, and if you watch that San Jose game, it's moving pretty gingerly towards the end, just holding it over to the side. I do believe it's going to be a separated shoulder, but again, he should be out in a couple of weeks, but not expect to be out for the whole season. You add Leo Duru, and this is again a speedster on the right back who has that technical skill to move the ball forward and also be able to come back and track back, which what we saw with Willy Kumado and what that type of player brought on the right hand side. But yeah, this is also just you can't take all the U.S. Young men's national team players, right? So some will stay back. But it's going to be an interesting time come October for sure.
So, hearing this, Alex, the idea of pairing Duru with his speed on right flank and then Bombino on left flank, you're starting to create lanes of attack. Now you've got Tverskov in the middle and Ingvartsen possibly up top in the middle. It looks like you're really creating lanes of attack, Lozano and Dreyer on each side, where SDFC can be dangerous in all three thirds.
Yeah, that's correct because I think they were favoring that left side a lot with Bombino, and it's easy to try to, as a defense, just trying to like block those lanes and just make them try to switch over to the other side. And because to be honest, Verhoeven would take it only so far and not really connect with the other players up top. And I think Bombino does a way better job at that. And now it's going to be Duru's job now on the right side. So yeah, you're going to have plenty of other options to try to play the way you want. It seems like this will be now like a more complete team, and like that's gonna be pretty dangerous. Late now in the season. So that's why I'm excited. It seems like that was just like the missing piece, and we have it. Hopefully, Harangi's healthy. I did like what I saw for a little bit with him, but um, I, yeah. Does anyone feel like we do have a complete team, or do you feel like there's like a little bit missing here? Because I do look at from the top down, we have some depth options. We certainly have younger options, but does anyone feel like this is a complete team heading towards a playoff spot?
I mean, it's still hurt. It's not healthy. Like some of these wounds are being freshly licked into health. Looking up the top end 9 in Marcus Ingvartsen and what he's gone through. Patty McNair coming through. So in terms of complete, yeah, but they're battered. This is a team that's gone through it, and did hear from actually Franco Negri, who pointed out that usually in MLS at this time around, like these games don't get any lighter. These games are high impact games, and they're definitely now into that almost playoff territory. So they'll feel it with Duru like being at it. It's a great move with Verhoeven. I saw what he's able to do, but if there's one thing that I didn't like about Verhoeven, it's just like 20 minutes in, he looked absolutely gassed. Whether or not he wasn't, this is a body language just sort of thing where he looked like he was winded, and he looked the way he tracked back, and yeah, he was caught off guard. But just another added piece here in defender. But I like where this is going. A complete team. I'm not too convinced on that one.
Well, let me ask you a question along those lines, gentlemen, because one other player from the transfer window who we haven't really seen yet is Corey Baird. Could Corey Baird take Tomas Angel's minutes down the stretch? Would that be an appropriate move for Los Cromanos, given that Angel's received a lot of time? Now you don't have a SDFC 2 to go dump him down to get regular play. You probably aren't going to move him off of the roster. So from a player development level, there's that to consider. But then I would return the question of why did you get Corey Baird if you're not going to use him and not going to play him? And if he's a defender who can be a little bit more creative as a reserve on the wing, seems like you're still going to have minutes in there. I don't think Ingvartsen's ready for a full 90 yet. So do you guys think that would be a step toward completion, having Baird take on Hell's minutes?
Yes, but it's still a question, right? Will it work? And this is one of the only players that's a little bit different from the youngsters that, hey, are they going to be proved? Are they going to prove themselves? And it seems like they are, because they play in a certain mindset. They know a style. They know modern player. I think I mentioned something like, in order to play the modern game, you need modern players. And Baird is halfway between there. So can he adapt? That's what Mikey Vadas is hoping. I just would love, and I'm pretty sure everybody as a San Diego FC supporter just wants this Tomas Angel. The Tomas Angel that was part of the first game in the 2-0 against LA Galaxy that made that beautiful run. Like, that guy still exists somewhere. And I really think that that's going to be the difference come playoffs. It's going to be a Tomas Angel goal. That's going to be the assist or something that he does in playoffs. That's going to make everything in the regular season kind of be forgotten. But is he the answer to get him there? I don't think so. I think it will be Baird. And this is now a signal too for Tomas Angel to maybe take advantage a little bit more of his opportunities coming up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ingvartsen will get the minutes later on once he's like fully ready, and we're going to see that starting line of Chuky, Ingvartsen, and Dreyer. And Beer will probably be that first option that gets the call to go in for one of those three when whatever the situation dictates. And I think he's probably gonna get the call over Angel. And if they really need some pressure legs, and Angel will get the call after that. And I think that's the way I see it.
Well, then I think we are a step closer to being a much more complete team. As I've been saying for a while, I think Ingvartsen is the guy who has to be the answer at 9. He clearly was the answer in San Jose. That was as a super sub. How Alosky-esque of him. Just come off the bench, instantly create 2 goals. Holy cow. But
there was a guy in front of Ilowski in FC Northland, by the way. And that named Marcos Ingvartsen. So, just kind of, again, perspective throughout all of this, right?
There was a guy at SDFC ahead of Ilowski named Marcos Ingvartsen.
And he's still here.
Yeah.
So, just that, hopefully everything's good for Milan over in Philly. Okay, so who's most upset about Leo Duru being here? Verhoeven?
Yeah, Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Harangi probably. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
He was probably
Harangi.
I mean, I think he was probably more of a depth piece anyway. And
I think Harangi's just happy to be here.
Yeah, he's happy to be here. Verhoeven, I think he's like the odd man out right for right now, and they're gonna give Duro some chances here late in the season.
Yeah, I see more Leo Duru jerseys being purchased than Harangi jerseys, even though they're both loans. So again, make a sound investment, everybody out there. Just
don't fall in love with your loans.
Exactly. At least the ones that don't have an option to buy.
It's like naming your lease car.
Yeah,
like don't name your lease car.
Yeah,
this one's named Jessica. Jessica left me after 3 years. I gave her $269 a month.
Yeah, some of these are rent cars too, so don't worry, Reds.
Yeah, your rentals or your lease cars. Just don't give them pet names. Let's hear from Leo Duru himself from Singing Hills out at San Diego FC training grounds and his perspective on joining Los Cromados, which I'm sure he mentioned as a nickname by name.
Obviously, a new kind of club in the league, and the pathway that they've given me, and kind of the information that the coach has spoke to me about, and how they play, and how I'd come into that kind of style of play. It's just such an exciting time for a young player, a young fullback like me that wants to get forward, get assists, get goals, and that's what he's looking for in the team. And yeah, the place is amazing. It's a lot different to England. The sun's going to get a bit of getting used to. It's very, very hot, but no, I can't complain. The environment, the atmosphere around the club is just like electric. It's very easy to kind of walk into that change room because all the boys are really nice, really happy, inviting, and I'm just ready to get some games going, get some wins.
In his defense, Singing Hills can get pretty hot. It's about the best East County has to offer. So I'm sure he's already seen some 95 and some 97 out there.
Just a little fun detail with like how this is still a expansion team. It's a brand new team. People finding things out for the first time. Today's the first day that I do believe San Diego FC is moving training an hour before, just because of the temperature, right? And this is they're very specific with how they do trainings, the times they do trainings. They want to match up a lot of the times with the times that they would be training anywhere else in the country. So they time it specifically for that and align it the day before for the game time. But yeah, just it's at 9 a.m. out there. I do believe it was what 80, 89, 90, and that's in the shade.
Right.
It's not Blackburn or Manchester where he was born, but Leo, he's getting that opportunity. He wants those minutes. He's hungry. He wants to be here.
He wants to come forward. He wants to get assists. He wants to score goals. And based on what I'm seeing on that freeze frame right there, he's here to break hearts as well. What a handsome, confident young man who's got a beautiful accent to
That's
boot.
Gary. Yep.
Yeah, I think the Gaslamp district is in big trouble when Leo Duru comes rolling through.
Oh man, it's great to hear that Manchester English accent, and he's got to get used to this weather. Go hang out in the beach.
So
go,
hot.
go get it.
Quite
Yeah,
hot.
get acclimated here.
Yeah.
What you tell me be nice here. It's quite hot.
And it's part of it. And again, I would hope that they may want to invest in the indoor. I was talking to this with Abe actually, just like, hey, they should look into them doing a indoor facility. Yeah, you still have the outdoor facility, but you need to climate control these things, right? Like if you travel to the East Coast right now, I think you'll find some pretty tepid weather. So I'm not sure how good it is could go from 101 degrees to 40.
I know a indoor facility close by. There's one in Oceanside.
Yeah, Front Wave Arena, is that what we're going to do? Or should we just go to the Eki YMCA? They could work with the Sockers. I mean, prove their touch, work on some touch along the way. I'm excited for this. I do think we all did talk about adding another defender along the way. Now, I thought it might be a veteran presence. I'll just reassert the one thing that I would say could be the Achilles heel of this San Diego FC team is that in the back, if you don't get, fully returned our two veterans back there, you've got just so much youth and inexperience. And when things step up, when it gets to a higher level, that's where you could worry a little bit. Now, if this club continues along, it's threatening the supporter shield path. They may not have to leave Snapdragon Stadium for a while, if at all, until the final. So exciting thoughts. But that would be the one thing, I did think they might bring in one more veteran voice or steady hand, but I guess, faith in Heaps and Vares that they like what they're hearing in their room and they don't want to have a new voice in that room.
There's still 2 hours left in the transfer window.
Oh, is this going to be a Preller type thing? Like, can it all come in the last 5 minutes?
It definitely can. And the way that Tyler and company operate, this may be a deal happening literally overseas. And overseas, let's see, time in Paris. It's 5:03 a.m. So it's still a business time, and it's not, if something was to happen from Europe over here, like there's still time, but I think the signals are there. Like, how would you classify this transfer window? Anyways, if it ends now, like, was it good? Meh, it was all right. Good, bad,
TBD. To me, it's TBD. It's how do these players, these young players that you brought in, perform and contribute to a club? How do they contribute to a club's attempt to finish first and shoot for MLS Cup?
There were a lot of younger acquisitions in this transfer window, and a lot of acquisitions that are meant for the future. And that's not just us. A lot of teams were planning this too. That's like how they operate. They take this as a great opportunity to add for the future. And I think that's kind of how Tyler Heap saw it. Like, this is a good chance to bring in Soma, get Vasquez in. Let's see what we can do with him. Leo now. We only got one veteran guy so far, and that's Baird. And there's still two. The way I'm counting this, 2 senior spots left. You can leave those senior spots alone if you want to. You can carry 18 senior spots with you, but with with some injuries right now, like, wouldn't you want to fill that, at least get someone in just in case? Oh, and to be honest, they still have plenty of GAM, and if they don't use that GAM, it's just going to roll over into next year. That's
Check
how
out
it
that
works.
GAM.
Yeah,
Look at the GAM on that team.
yeah.
Wow.
Look at
And
all my GAM.
oh, my GAM, yeah, all stacked up, nice and neat little piles.
I can't hold all the GAM.
Yeah, there's still money to blow. So yeah, I mean, you can maybe bring one more person, and I think I made this point on our Discord, Craig, that Baird happened like the day before, so it happened fairly quickly. There weren't that many rumors around it, so it happened pretty fast. And yeah, maybe Heaps has one more in him, and he gets a deal done before the deadline.
Let me give you a little bit of insight too. I'll tell you, other MLS teams aren't a fan of the model that San Diego FC has, and this is hearing it from different sources throughout MLS and networking. They think San Diego FC has an unfair advantage by even having and be allowed to go into Mexico, and so this, just like Inter Miami, Beckham, and his Rolodex of contacts, and Messi may be very different, Javier Mascherano, than what Mikey Vadas and Tyler Heaps are able to really negotiate and connect. So that's why also, like, maybe there isn't a lot of MLS teams ready to make a deal with San Diego FC as well. So there's a little bit of gamesmanship in all of this, but for a fact, I know there's teams and executives that do not like and are not okay with San Diego FC having such a good academic start in their fulfillment and how they've gone about it.
That sounds exactly like a GM we know very well, Craig. That works for the Padres.
Yeah, take the edge you can. So in other words, they would have much preferred that they broke ground on an academy in La Jolla as opposed to Singing Hills and the 50-mile radius rules. Very smart geographic placement. Well, sorry about it. Last thing I'd say on this as we transition is just, there's something I'm going to always keep in the back of my mind until it's knocked completely out of there, that we haven't cleared the DP. We haven't used that. We've saved some money. So I'm calling that S for S. Can you guess what that stands for?
Guess.
You can guess?
No, ¿qué es? ¿Qué es el SNS?
Saving for Salas. Salah.
Mohamed
Saving for
Salah.
Salah. Saving for Salah.
Well,
Saving for Salah.
Well, technically, Greg, you don't have to save for Salah. The ownership can pay him whatever he wants.
Just pay whatever. I know,
Yeah.
but still, they're saving still. They're just like, not going to go all in because they're saving for Salah.
Yeah.
Saving for Salah. S4S.
Okay.
That's the one thing that I asked Mr. Mansour in the announcement of MLS. There was that scrum, and he was just kind of being escorted through, and I didn't get a chance to get a question to him. And I said, I'm just going to shout it out. Hey, Mohamed Salah comes back. Oh, Mohamed Salah, like, he is a great player, a great person, and you never know. Like, I think that's one player that it just makes sense for him to stop by San Diego for so many reasons.
Saving for Salah. When will the Salah era begin? I don't know.
Yeah. We definitely have those discovery rights, by the way. There's no way he's not like #1 on the list, like already.
Yes.
Like Tyler Heaps, just put each year, just renew the list. He's #1.
I'm pretty sure that was a prerequisite of the $500 million expansion fee. Like, yeah, but I'm first in line for Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Okay. Portland Timbers coming to town on Saturday. Let's hear what head coach Mikey Varas had to say with their hour early to avoid the stinging heat of Singing Hills. Just
Ooh,
and
Stinging Hills. I love that.
yeah, Stinging Hills. What August and September? There's a little bit more sting in those hills as the temperature rises. Let's hear from my favorite coach, the anti-Schilt, Mikey Varas, the man who's honest to a fault, as opposed to the opposite to a fault. Here's Mikey Varas on their thoughts preparing for the last opponent, the last one to break the seal, SDFC and Timbers. All right, Mikey, what do you got? Axe in hand.
Portland's a tough opponent. They have a very talented roster. It's very athletic and dynamic. They're good in open spaces, 1v1s. They play with a big build-up shape, so they want to have the ball. They're willing to play a bit against your press. So they'll be a great challenge. They're really well coached. At the end of the day, we also want to continue excelling in some of the things that we've been excelling, which we think we've been pressing really well. Team mentality to defend has been fantastic. We always play with initiative. We have a no give up mentality here. This fighting spirit that allows us to stay in any game. And then we also know if we can just improve a little bit and a bit that connection in our breakthroughs, and maximize the chances that we are like almost creating. We also know that we have another gear in terms of some of those things that we're getting close to hitting. Yeah, with all the guys that are out injured, we have a great medical staff, human performance staff that's working day and night in a really intentional way to get these guys not only back in the same conditions they left, but in even better conditions, and they do a great job. Life is like this, though. You can never guarantee when things are going to go well for you, when things are not. All we can do is just focus on the process. That's what we do. Try to make really informed and intentional decisions about what we do. And then Leo joining, he's got fantastic athleticism. He comes with a ton of hunger as a young player to prove a point. He's looking to make the next step in his career, and I think that this is the place that provides those opportunities to young, hungry, talented players that are willing to do that. So it's all about him training, getting onboarded with our principle style play, our culture, and the faster he does that, the faster he'll get an opportunity to make that impact.
You know, one thing that just occurs to me, guys, hearing that, when I hear Mikey say that to the press, I feel like I can hear him saying that to the player in terms of his pitch, saying to Leo Duru, you are ready to take the next step in your career. And we believe San Diego FC is a place where you're going to have the opportunity to do that. And where I, as the head coach, and Tyler, as the sporting director, will give you the minutes and the time and the space and the attention, and the coaching to be able to take that next step in your career. And it does lead me back to the feeling of SDFC as a soccer Hogwarts, like a training ground, a proving ground. We're going to create young wizards, and then we're going to see them disappear, and we're going to bring in the next class, and we're gonna kill off a master of the dark arts every single year. So I'm not sure who that will be. I hope it won't be Mikey, but nonetheless, like, point being, something we've talked about on previous Chromaniacs episodes, guys. When I hear that, I'm both encouraged and I'm reminded. Don't fall in love with anybody wearing an SDFC uniform. A big part of their goal is to let these guys grow, squeeze the juice of enthusiasm at a young age and a young price, and repeat the process.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for a guy like Leo, I mean, you could say that about any of the young guys. How many minutes are were they going to get with their team? Here in San Diego, you're going to get first team minutes. There isn't a team 2. You're going to get plenty of opportunities, and I think the pitch that they sell to them is like it's going to be the whoever is the best player, that's who's going to play. And they have shown plenty of examples of younger guys beating out the veteran guys. Negri is now on the bench. Loffelson got sent out. Um, this is just how they roll. And even Dos Santos, he beat out a much more like veteran guy for being number one, for being the goalkeeper. And I think that's a good for a young player. Like, I think any young player that really wants to play and get those valuable minutes and exposure, and they know that if this goes well for me, I'm gonna go off to somewhere else, somewhere where I can get paid more. It's just a win-win for everybody, right? Right, Tony?
Yeah, it's an island of misfit toys in a way, but in the best way, because these toys are premium, like really, really like top of the line toys that will then also become collector's item later, hopefully. And it's again, I back to the kind of like a Toy Story thing, like in Toy Story 2, when Woody gets that makeover, and he just comes from an old raggedy toy to the toy into a museum, like these the into museum. This is the level of coaching that Mikey Varas is doing. He's rehabilitating some of these players. Luca de la Torre made it back to the U.S. men's national team, where he wouldn't have done that had he been in Celta Vigo in Europe, where people are like, oh, well, they're coming back to MLS and they're just coming back because of the level they couldn't cut it over there. Maybe, but if your trajectory is to be successful as a soccer player and be the best version of you, maybe you need to take that step back and really reassess where you're at. And maybe that's the next step forward in all of this, right? He's still on loan. Thank you, San Diego, or thank you, San Diego. I really like what you like. What we did here, I'm going to stay here. And I'm going to make sure that I'm a lifer, right? Just the rest of my career here. That's what you want too. But give that player the opportunity to. I think that's what you're saying, Craig, is that it's really an opportunity, and that's really a holistic way of seeing these things. And in the world market now in sports, where everything again is so business, it's sterile. Like that's I like that. I really like believing in the individual and giving them the choice to go ahead and go fly away, or you can stay here. It's okay. We'll be okay, because like you said, the next batch is going to be sorted through the sorting hat, and they're going to be placed regardless of and that's just Tyler keeps deciding. Here you go. Here's the new people.
The only reason I've brought this up multiple times is because we aren't currently seeing, as casual fans, what the turnover is really gonna look like a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. This is still year one, and it feels like the players who are here are going to be part of our team for so many years to come, and there's going to be so much growth, and we're going to grow up with these young players. Well, yes and no. The real answer is they're here for a good time, not for a long time, a lot of them. And right now, Mikey Varas can see that future, and he's speaking to it. He sees the vision. He can speak to it. But a casual fan hasn't really seen it in action yet. Milanilowski was the first shot off the bow. But even he is not the same as a 20-year-old like Leo Duru, or a Luca Bombino, a young player who you could be like, wow, this guy's going to be we just sold him to who? For what? Wait, we got more Gam? I want that player. I don't want Gam. But this is part of the churn of SDFC. And I think a year 8 SDFC fan or a year 10 SDFC fan is going to understand this. I think for a year 1 SDFC fan, it's going to still hit you like a punching bag bouncing back at you unless you're ready for it. And that's why I'm kind of bringing it up, is that this is what they're planning to do. They're planning to move and churn. They're planning to grow and sell.
And even for those fans, sorry, Alex, but like even for those fans that have been watching soccer forever, they watch Liga MX, they watch Premier League week in, week out. What's happening in San Diego is still so different from even that even those people don't know what's going on. those are the people that are complaining. Well, why don't we have Thomas Mueller? Why don't we get, so and so? Would you rather have Thomas Mueller and have whoever namesake that you can buy a San Diego jersey that says Thomas Mueller? Great, that's fantastic. But be in 8th place? Is that a fair trade-off? Or would you rather be literally riding the lightning in 1st place and breaking records and literally one game away from clinching playoffs? It's insane. Like, which would you rather? I think most people would say, you know what? Okay, I think I'm okay here. I think we're fine here.
I mean, I'm okay in 1st place. Like that's what I want. Yeah, and it's the system. It's it's going to deter fans. It's going to bring fans in. It is what it is, and I am all in on the young players. I think that's the very exciting thing about this team compared to another team that's in the city. That we're going to see young players come up. They're going to develop, and we're gonna see like the whole process the whole way where they're gonna be here playing games, but then they're gonna be sold to another team. Just like Luca. Luca's already getting calls from West Brom, and he's gonna be going out to Europe, and we're gonna be like, hey, that was our player. I remember him playing here in San Diego, and you're gonna have all the stories and of watching him, but now he's playing in the Premier League, in La Liga, in Champions League. I think that's the goal for any player, play at the highest level.
But it's not the goal for a fan, is see a player disappear and go to another league that I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch and say, oh, good for you. You're playing on the left wing for a team I don't care about. No, we want our players to be here and succeed. So just something to think about for the future, because that is what the future holds for San Diego FC. It's sales, it's transfers, and it's being happy that you help them, grow and learn how to fly. And the very last thing I would say about that is the sales pitch is so much more appealing and appetizing to a casual fan when it's paired with being in 1st place. If the sales pitch was being made in 11th place or 7th place, it's not as much. It could be contested a couple years down the road. 1st place, everyone's in. Everyone's in. Oh, so we're going to win and we're going to do all this? Okay, great. Well, what about, hey, the system's working great. We just haven't had the results on the field this year, but we believe in where we are with our infrastructure and our system. That sales pitch is coming in a future year of San Diego FC that doesn't finish the way that this dream season is looking to finish. Now, can the beginning of the Portland Timbers rivalry be a success for San Diego FC? That's what we'll find out Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium. An unnamed rivalry. First question on our little rundown here is, should this matchup have a name? I mean, not yet.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
Let it breathe.
You wanna-
Like, I mean, the timber palm tree. I mean, I don't know. Like, it goes into different flora and fauna discussions at this point, and I think we're not there. Let's see some spiciness on the field first.
Well, when you're talking about sports and you're talking about the connections between San Diego and Portland, there is a connection. And Craig, you know this very well. The San Diego Padres had a PCL team where the current Portland Timbers play in Providence Park. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
called the Portland Beavers.
Oh.
And that's you wanna throw some
The
names
Beaver
out there,
Cup?
like, it could be the Beaver Cup. It could be, we saw Burrows,
It's a
Josh
rivalry.
Greer. We saw
Uh-huh.
all these former Padres from like the mid 2000s show up. Corey Lubke, probably
Uh-huh.
Wade LeBlanc.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were all Portland Beavers, and I mean that's the sports connection that you can make, and yeah, it could be the Beaver Cup. It
Nice
could
beaver. Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Yeah, no, it's a rivalry. I'm convinced. No, this is the most hated people. No, like I want to see now Apple TV in the parking lot introducing said Beaver Cup.
The Beaver.
Just like they did
It's the Beaver Cup
with El Camino Real Cup. The Beaver Cup. Tell us about your beaver.
I mean, and then Alex is there. No, this is about the Portland Beavers and Corey Lubke and
Sure, Sean Burrows. Oh,
I don't
R.I.P.
know.
Burrows.
I think we need to we need to workshop. We need to workshop what's going on here. All right, what's going on with Timbers? I will one of these days go to a Timbers match. I'll promise you that. It's not going to be this time, I mean, this one's home, but you know what I'm saying? It won't be this year, but I will go to a Timbers match because that looks like one of the most awesome venues in all of Major League Soccer. But what's happening with the Timbers?
Apparently a lot. Man, they've had quite the transfer window, and they've seen some players go out, some players come in. One player that is out, who was a U22 player, Santiago Moreno, he is out. He wanted out. He caused a little bit of the mess. He didn't want to show up for practice. He didn't want to show up to play. He was done with Portland. So Moreno is out. So that something that we probably discussed on this podcast was how can San Diego get 3 designated players? Well, this is the one way you do it. You take a U22 player, you ship him out, and then you bring 2 more designated players, and that's going to be Christopher Belde and Felipe Carballo. They are now in. They're their new designated players only because Moreno is out. And a trade that actually happened last week with San Diego and San Diego FC and Portland. Portland acquired an international slot, and Portland used that slot to get Mateus Rojas, and they've had a pretty busy transfer window with that. So they've turned to us, shipped some guys out, and now they have a few new players, which is good for them. They're really trying to stack up their chips and really push all in for the playoffs. Right now they're in 6th place in the Western Conference, and like it's going to be pretty interesting to see like what kind of a Portland team we're going to see. I think we already heard Mikey talk about it, and they do like to play like the man. They like to feel out the match. And just kind of see how it goes. They're very 50-50 when it comes to possession, and they could go either way. Play some defense, or they can try to be on the attack. And I think there should be no surprises here. I think it's going to be a very big match, first of all, and second, yeah, don't take Portland very lightly, because they're trying to come after playoff spot too. So there's some really big some playoff clinching opportunities for this for San Diego FC. They're going to have a lot of pressure on their hands. They're playing at home. They're also going for the tie of the expansion wins. Lots happening for this match. What are your thoughts?
There are 12 different scenarios where San Diego FC qualifies for playoffs this weekend. 12. The only ones that really should matter is the first one, which are San Diego FC win or draw versus Portland Timbers, and then the list, FC Dallas wins or loses against LAFC, and Austin lose. Like we're getting into like we'll post it a little bit later, but that's the one scenario that San Diego FC needs to worry about. Can you go and take it against a team that is a legacy team in MLS, that is well coached, that is able to adapt and has new players in that are going to want to prove themselves as they're exiting other teams, as they're coming into a historic team? This is a matchup where San Diego FC is facing one of the strongest challenges because they're also a question mark to the squad. There's a lot of footage, but there's not a lot of footage with this iteration of Portland Timbers. And it's the Portland Timbers that's fighting for their lives. And so, San Diego FC can definitely take the foot off the gas for a little bit, and they'll be fine. And if they're not in first place when they qualify for playoffs, that's okay. And I'm pretty sure they'll be fine and they'll live. If they don't win the Supporters Shield, they want it, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be fine. But this is a game where if you really want to just put the cherry on top for a fantastic season, how about you beat the Portland Timbers at home to qualify in first, pretty much qualify, but cement yourself further in first place. Like that's a dream scenario for any MLS team, expansion team, Mikey Varas. Like I'll ask him, how do you feel? He'll say, I don't look at that stuff. I'm moving forward to next week. Great, Mikey. And that'll be that. But this is a huge game coming up here at Snapdragon Stadium. But also, this is one of the teams that have the most fans already established in MLS, especially in San Diego. One of the largest contingencies of Portland Timbers fans is here in San Diego. So that'll
interesting.
Yeah.
No fights. Tony, what's the status of Chuky Lozano?
Chuky Lozano rolled his ankle against Kansas City. And so last game, it was a super precaution to keep him off. Super precaution to keep him off because they'd rather have Chuky Lozano on the field at his best as opposed to not at his best. That tracks. But that's the reason why he didn't play last week against San Jose. Chuky Lozano is back full capacity at training. He should be making a return. I'm not too sure if that means that he's going to start and or finish the game. But again, it's one of those questions. Like, would you want Thomas Mueller and in 8th place, or would you want to load manage Chuky Lozano and be in first place? And he's healing.
Okay, so continuing, Alex, from a discussion point from the middle of the show, let's say Chuky Lozano is going to come on to start the second half, which is something we've seen San Diego FC do multiple times, bringing a guy back like Chuky from absence or injury, Baird or Angel or Valakari to take that spot.
I think last week Angel lost his starting privileges. For me, you got to have some other options there. I'd put Valakari in just because you don't have any other options, and I think Mikey Varas commented about Baird about he's still learning the system. I think he would be more of a later entrance, late sub in this game.
Who's not, though? Who's not learning the system at this point? Like,
I know
everybody's learning the system. Like
Ingvartsen, he's the one. He's like, I know it, guys.
Yeah,
come here. Let me tell you again.
Which was incredible, by the way. The way he just slotted himself into the team, goal and assist. Like, this is somebody who knows this system like the back of their hand and knows exactly where to be. And this is, again, the biggest move in the transfer window was the return of Marcos Ingvartsen. So that's going to be very cool and interesting to keep an eye on.
All right. Any other thoughts on this one? I think it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. And what I'd really like to see is, can SDFC play the brand of soccer at home that they've played on the road? I mean, it's been pretty wild. But having said that, there's also been a little bit of an element of SDFC getting away with it on the road. And this last match is another one. Not too creative in the first half, a gaff to go to 0-1, and then you get 2 late goals. San Jose felt like they were done dirty and it was a flukish loss. For us, we're like, we just keep on rolling. The train keeps on rolling. But when the train's rolling on a bumpy track, sometimes that means a derailment is going to be coming along the way. So I am looking for a point on Saturday. A win would be incredible. I would love it, and it would be record-setting and playoff clinching and all the rest. But personally, I'm looking for a point on Saturday. I think Timbers are going to be an incredibly difficult challenge, and I could see it being one where once again Los Cromados are playing from behind and trying to find a way to get back to get that point.
Go for it.
It's a point or a win to clinch, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. 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 Point makes sense. They have to, yeah, like you said, Craig, go back to what we're used to. The last two matches against San Jose and Kansas City, they weren't really looking like the team that we've seen in weeks past. A lot of shots going the other way, and that's not good. That's not what you want out of this team, especially with the young back line. I want to see more possession, more front foot, more shots on goal, and just being able to execute everything in the game plan. So um, I hope to see it. I do want this win or draw. Just to get it over with, just to all right, we're in the playoffs and that's it. We don't have to kick the can down the road. We're just done and over, and we can just think about where we're going to be placing from here on out.
Just for the laughs, I'm gonna, if it's not a win and or draw, SDFC still makes playoffs, and I'll read the 12th scenario. If Houston Dynamo loses to San Jose and the Colorado Rapids win or draw against Galaxy and Real Salt Lake lose against Minnesota. So if you're looking to sit down and watch some MLS content, there you go.
There parlay right there. There it is.
Nah, it'll be fun. Hey, it's Pride Night. So yeah. There's some giveaways. Pórtense bien. Import yourself. But Shannon McMillan, keeper of the flow. That'll be fun.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, here's the last thing I wanted to talk about, because this might be the last glorious evening for San Diego FC that fans look out at the Snapdragon Stadium pitch and say, what a beautiful place to play soccer. Because the next night, San Diego Wave FC will have to play on the same pitch, which just had an MLS match played on it. And you know what? They'll do a bang-up job of cleaning things up. But from the weekend after and all the weekends to follow, a bunch of greased up 300-pound weirdos are going to be throwing helmets into one another and digging cleats into that pitch and tearing it to hell. And I can tell you, last year, San Diego Wave FC's season devolved into madness at the end of the year when it was like 40% sand on the pitch. And they promised it would be better with MLS. And so far, there have been no issues. And also, so far, there's been no football. And there's going to be football starting a weekend from this weekend. This is the last one. This is Rivendell, and then it's the road to Mordor the rest of the way for this season, Alex. So I really do think it's something to keep in mind. Pitch quality could be an issue the rest of the year.
Yeah. And guess what? They do come back at home in 3 weeks. This is for San Diego FC on September 13th. So hopefully they can repair any type of damage that the football team, San Diego State football team, has done, and we can see decent conditions against Minnesota. And then after that, it would be another 2 weeks before they play San Jose at home, and then they're done until the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, right now, last year, they went with one specific type of grass. Here we go, grass talk. They went with one. It was Bermuda
hybrid. Yeah. What?
Essentially, it was actually, fun fact, actually, it was a type of grass that's used in the Pacific Northwest, very common for a Portland Timbers. So it was grass that came from there, but they didn't factor in that it's different climates in Mission Valley to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, so, just ask Leo Duru. It's hot. It's quite hot.
By this time last year, that field was already torn up. It was already torn up, and they had to replace it with a whole nother field. This time they go back to the original Kentucky Blue, which is the same one that's used at Petco Park, and it's already lasting. That's why you have this pitch that you have now. Anything that happens further, they still have an extra 2 pitches ready to go. Aesthetically speaking, it's already lost, Craig. That's those lines are there. Pure aesthetics, soccer, like that's what it currently looks like. Alex Morgan retired there.
Yeah,
like
I know.
That's gonna be rough. Like I hope these Europeans realize that the lines didn't like that the field isn't a little bit too like more just.
What are all these stupid lines?
Yeah, like do I stop here? Is the field like skinnier? Like where do
Aren't
we go?
we the pro team in first place? What does this team win? Oh, nothing.
They play for the love of the game.
They play for something called the old oil can, boys.
No, sir. It's because these kids can't. They go get paid to go to school so they have to put their bodies that way because this is for school. Oh,
wait, the left tackle gets paid more than I do.
I mean, if you want to factor it in, kind of that education, San Diego State isn't cheap. So, yeah, just horrible.
I don't know who the Cockney is on the team.
oi, bruv.
Patty?
Hey, more than me.
Patty.
Chimney
Patty
sweep.
McNair.
Yeah.
Chimney sweep from Mary Poppins.
I'll tell you. In the chimney.
Dick Van Dyke doing a great accent.
Oh, Lord. Right. Okay. Well, guys, another beautiful episode of the Chromaniacs. Next week, looking forward to bringing in a guy that we've known for years, Adrian from the Chavos, one of the key drummers, one of the guys who leads the drum line. And the reason he wasn't here tonight is because they're practicing.
No, but good.
Practicing now. So good. But can't wait. And of course, Saturday night, SDFC and Portland. And when it's all said and done, we'll be back on YouTube to break it all down and talk about it. On the way out, just want to let you know, brand new Padres hot tub mugs are now available at padreshottub.com/merch. And if you happen to be a Padres fan and they win, you can look at this and be very happy in the morning. Or if maybe they lost, you can look at the other side. Baseball is stupid and no one should watch. And let that console you as you drown your thoughts. So available. And here's proof of purchase. You can get one. It's not one of those tiny little 8 ounces. This is a solid 15 ounces. So get your mug today. Follow me on Instagram at 619 Sports and Life. Follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs. And Alex, what do you got?
One last name submission for this match. The beer cup. The IPA cup. How about that?
Well, it's better than the Beaver Cup, buddy.
Yeah, hey, Portland, we have better beer. We have better beer than you guys. And catch me on Chromatic FC. Well, that's where I'm writing stuff, and it's great. Catch it on Substack. You,
Love
Tony?
that. SanDiego.Futbol. That's the name of the game. That's the house that houses soccer in San Diego. La Casa de Futbol, with the podcast that the Insiders watch, 2 Balls and a Mic, and the rest of everybody who knows about soccer in San Diego. And San Diego FC is here in the Chromaniacs. But everything, SanDiego.Futbol. Check it out. It's a website. We're going to come out with, we're closing in to episode 300 on 2 Balls and a Mic. And we have to do something. So that'll be coming up.
Well, once again, if you've made it to the end of the show and you've enjoyed what we've done and you're watching on YouTube, please give us that thumbs up. It'll take you half a second to do it. Like, rate, and review on all the audio platforms as well. And until we meet again, for Alex Pena and Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And vamos, SDFC.